white identification. Very important concept. I talked about this concept earlier this month. I thought it was very important. It was very useful in describing what I observe within the context of white supremacy. Very useful term, I think. You talk about this term extensively in your book, and I just want to read a quick portion and then get you to further explain the term white identification. In the book, it is written, white identification, that this is a white identified black person is a black person who views the world through a white perspective, even when it conflicts with his or her own self and group interests. A white identified black person pursues interests, activities, and relationships primarily because white people are associated with them, and often avoids or looks down on certain people, places, and things primarily because black people are associated with them.
There are also the Marxists amongst our people who don't care about our people or our nation. There are the capitalists amongst our people who thrive on colonialism, white supremacy, and capitalism. Both of them betray our people. There are also the so-called Christians who spit on our ancestors and enjoy being on their knees for the white race, for a place in a pretend heaven, in a white heaven, with a white Jesus and a white Mary and a white old man in a beard. We are too deep in this shit of colonialism and white supremacy. We are too deep into selfishness and sex and drugs and the hypocrisy of the Christian religion and the hypocrisy of white culture. We pretend too much that we know who we are, what our history is. As we dye our hair, bleach our skin, dream of having white blonde children and blonde grandchildren. We watch Hispanic, Latino TV, listen to Latino music. We are such ignorant cowards, and we all play the game of cowards. Tomorrow we will do something about white supremacy. Tomorrow we will grow some courage. Tomorrow we will study our history and our heritage. Tomorrow we will confront all of the vendidos. Tonight we get drunk and have sex. Tonight we spend money and do drugs. Tonight we will cry and watch TV. Tonight we will dream of becoming white people. Tomorrow is the coward's song. We pretend too much. Even those who do know and who have studied our heritage, we sit back waiting for the super train to liberation as we kick back, intellectualizing and bullshitting ourselves into no action. We pretend too much, speaking out of both sides of our mouth, being proud Americans, Mexican Americans, Latino Americans, Hispanics, wrapped in the red, white, and blue, the flag of their fathers who killed our mothers and fathers, the flag that stole our lands from the point of Columbus to the Pilgrims, the flag that now kills people all over the world, the flag that steals the land and liberty of others, that steals oil and resources of other nations, the flag that steals freedom and independence. We pretend too much with escapism and MTV and iPod and hip-hop and rancheras and narco corridos and the songs of cowards. We are wired to music, to dancing and partying, to drugs and alcohol. Our culture is white culture. We are fake white people. Music negates our existence with pretense, with escapism, with phony dreams, with phony realities, even with hip-hop and so-called conscious music. It is filled with phony revolutionaries and phony revolutionary songs. We live our lives in sex and its escapes. The whole industry depends on our sex drives, a whole industry. We live our lives in materialism, a materialism that is part of capitalism, part of the white race. We pretend because it is better to be fake whites than to live the real lives of warriors with real thinking involved and truth in our lives and demands for justice. We pretend because we have been bred for cowardice, and we are very good at cowardice. Because we live our lives for the white race, we are living our lives as ignorant cowards to keep the white race happy and rich and powerful. You know what you need to do to liberate yourself and to liberate our people. Just do it. You need to do it. Or you can continue to be a coward living as a slave of the white man's world. And that's kind of the challenge, the reminder, the mirror that we put before ourselves, that it's a real ugly situation that we're in. We're poor, and say, well, I got a house, I got a car, I got a job. We're still poor. You could have a PhD and you could be the multimillionaire owner of the Angels. Guy's got a few $100 million. He's just as ignorant as somebody selling oranges and who's illiterate. We're in a really sad situation, and some of us have to start waking up, because I know a lot of us are never going to wake up. A lot of the older generation, it's too late. They've been eating the poison of colonialism and white supremacy for too long. The younger you are, the better chance you have. But right now, the problem is that there is no guidance. You get the guidance from the Marxists who tell you, hey, let's straighten out the whole world. Well, even under Marxism and everything was equalized, colonialism would still exist with this language, with foreigners on our continent and us. Yeah, we'd be equal. But we would still be foreigners on our own land. Or you could be a capitalist and you can become a multimillionaire. And your children and blah, blah, and then you would assimilate and to the point where you would end up being part of the white race. Because that is kind of the dream, right? The dream is to become part of the white race. Why is that a dream for our people? Why do they dye their hair? Why do they want to marry into the white race? Because it'll get them out of the hell in which they're living in. That's what the dream is for the children. At least my child will not be dark, they will be white, and they won't be going through all of this horrible racism that I'm dealing with. They'll be better off. But they're not really fully conscious of what they're really doing. It's a suicide. It's kind of a slow motion suicide to the utmost of that dream. In 2-3 generations, all their descendants will be white. That's suicide. It's genocide. A genocide in which we're participating in. And so when we're not fully aware of our history or our identity and no one to guide us, you end up with these gangs that are killing our people and that are killing other gangs. But mostly they're killing our people. They're killing some little kids and somebody's grandpa. Somebody is tagging on a wall and somebody's grandpa says stop and they end up killing them. How many times do we hear those stories? But who are the bigger monsters? Are people who've been trained to be gangsters and basically to attack their own people? Or the colonial white supremacy that controls our lives and controls our wealth and controls our education systems and controls us from the point that we're born? So we have to be aware of this and, don't get all depressed about it. Get a little depressed about it. But more important, get angry. Because we're told, don't get angry. Because anger becomes hate. Oh, I'm sorry. We should love colonialism. We should love white supremacy. We should love the Christianity hypocrisy that's been forced on us. We should love our inferior situation. We should love the white people for all the good things that they've done to us. What are the good things? What are those good things? What have they done to us? There's not one good thing that they've done to us. But this whole thing about don't hate, you're going to be a hater. See, there's something even psychologically really sick about that. Don't hate your enemy. Love your enemy. You seen Christians actually loving their enemy? You seen white people love their enemy?
If you have a concept of what living is all about, what the universe is all about, you try to put it into words that will lead you to the truth. Because what any person who is anti-justice will do is, first of all, try to stay away from what the truth of the matter is. The truth is, you have a system of white supremacy in place. What you want to do, or should want to do, is replace the system of white supremacy with the system of justice. Compensatory definition of justice is as follows: guaranteeing that no person is mistreated. That's part one. Part two, guaranteeing that the person that needs help the most gets the most help for truth and justice.
The only reason I'm talking, not to make anybody feel bad, not even to make white people feel bad. I'm talking because the goal of replacing white supremacy with justice on this planet is what I think ought to be happening. And this is what I think all of us should be interested in.
And can you show me the doll that looks bad?
Well, how did you feel seeing that doll test?
The thing that struck me the most was how quickly the kids answered the question. They said, this one is the nicest because she's white. There was no ambiguity. There was no, let me think about it. Or, this one, for whatever those reasons were. And I'm like, my goodness, what about the filter? All of the images, everything
Isn't
that's
that
coming
interesting
in.
How not even a second?
No.
Yeah.
No, it was immediately,
And why do you think that is?
Wow, and I guess it goes back to the images. When we're looking at what's on television, we're looking at commercials, we're looking at advertisement, and with certain dolls in particular.
Yeah.
Because I think about my 8-year-old. We advertise usually the white doll.
Elaine, can you tell us what kind of hair you have and what color eyes you have?
I have black hair and black eyes.
Okay, and then Silver, what color hair does she have? So, does Goldie have better hair than you, or is the black hair that you have better than Goldie's?
Black hair is kind of good, but
Brown, what did you say about Brown?
brown is gay and black is gay and brown gay and white is up. And green
good?
is gay.
Shut up. So
Blue is gay.
Hey, wait.
Red is gay.
Wait. You don't want to be brown? You want to be white?
I want to be white.
You wish you could be white?
Yes, and I wish I can have dark hair.
You want to have dark hair?
Nothing left to believe in. Nothing.
Nothing, my dear? Now, you don't really mean that.
Oh, but I do.
Nonsense, child. If you'd lost all your faith, I couldn't be here. And here I am. Oh, come now. Dry those tears. You can't go to the ball looking like that.
The ball? Oh, but I'm not.
Of course you are. But we'll have to hurry, because even miracles take a little time.
Miracles?
Mm-hmm. Watch. What in the world did I do with that magic wand? I was sure
wand?
That's strange. I always...
Why, then you must be.
Your fairy godmother? Oh,